Your ancestors have a message for you, so take a deep breath and look at the 3 cards before you and choose one that feels like it holds the guidance and the messages that you need to hear at this time from your ancestors. And once you have picked your card pile, jump straight to the chapter within the bar below this video, and if you need longer, then just please pause the video now. Welcome to the reading if you picked card 1. Let's see what messages and guidance are here for you from your ancestors. And first I've pulled 3 cards from the Ancestral Tarot. And the first card for you is the 8 of Swords. And you might feel like you are stuck or even trapped in some type of situation perhaps. But this is all in your mind or a situation that you are somehow allowing. So have a think about what you might just be allowing. And your ancestors want you to know that you are not stuck. And there are choices and new possibilities out there. There's opportunities also that you may not be taking advantage of or not seeing. So sometimes you might think, you might talk to yourself in a negative way that kind of talks you out of things, if that's something you might find yourself doing, and you're sort of allowing maybe your fears about what could go wrong, how something might not work for you and how it might work for someone else. Those types of thought patterns are really not helping you, and actually they're blocking your path. So just be really aware of if anything of like that is going on in your mind. And it's okay to feel nervous or scared about anything, but the problem is you shouldn't allow feeling fear to stop you from doing something. So it's normal to feel fear when you do something different or you make a choice that is not what you're used to doing or do something you've never done before. It's normal to feel fear. All I'm saying is do not let that stop you trying. And sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone. If you look here, she's kind of blocked herself with the swords from both the boat, and she's kind of trapped herself in a house a bit, and she's sort of hiding behind these. It's a fan, it almost looks like cards. Yeah, so she's quite fearful, and I do think they are picking up on that with you. There are some fears that are holding you back, and you need to try and break free of those. And the next card is the 8 of Staves, which is like the 8 of Wands. And so you've got another 8, so the number 8 is significant here. At the time of filming, we will be approaching the 8/8 date in August, so I think that's something you might want to consider if depending when you watch this. So I really love this image of the 8 of Staves. If there's been a period of stagnation in your life, or you have felt maybe blocked, then this appears to show us that this will be coming to an end. And of course, I believe your own power and your own ability to make choices and to take action on things is going to be the most powerful way for you to break out of any kind of holding pattern that you've found yourself in. And this card is all about movement. So if you look at these birds kind of flying away as these staves are sort of flying through the air, they're kind of leaving those trees behind them. Some of you actually watching this, it might be a small portion of you, could be considering moving home or have moved home recently. That's something that might be coming through, especially after our first card. You might be encouraged if you're kind of considering, should I move, should I sell my home? This might be a good sign for you that the ancestors are saying to go ahead with that. It seems like a good opportunity for you and could open up your road. So your ancestors do seem to be encouraging you to break free and to end procrastination. So it might be just a project or something you want to do, any sort of choice that you're going to make that could influence or change things for you. If you're being on the fence with it, it's time to take a move, take action on it. You're definitely being encouraged to go into an area that you might not have gone before. So don't let fear hold you back. Next, we've got the 4 of Staves. So we've got 2 stave cards, which is fire element, and the staves or wands here are actually shown as pillars. I really like this image here because actually the pillars in Egypt are based on palm trees, they believe. So if you look at it, you often see these leaf decorations at the top of them. Even they look a little bit like lotus flowers here. First, I'm getting that your ancestors, maybe the more recent ones, ones that are kind of around your home. Some of you might be growing food, your own food. I feel vegetables, herbs, fruits, that type of thing. And they seem to be aware of that if you look at the bottom here. And I also think for some of you, especially if you live in apartments or flats, it could be that you're someone who has a lot of plants in your home. You like to take care of plants. They seem very aware of this. They seem to like what you're doing. So maybe some of you, if it's not plants and you've got a garden or outdoor space, it could also be just cooking. Some of you cooking, you're someone who enjoys baking, that type of thing. I think the ancestral guides seem to be aware of that, and they kind of like that you do that. Obviously, that goes back to our ancient origins. That is how humans used to live. So maybe this is something they did as well. It's definitely a connection between you and them. So that could also be an ancestral trait that you have, that you've inherited from them. And they are also possibly aware of your family if you live with family or a partner. Some of you might have children. They definitely seem like they're watching over you, which makes a lot of sense with ancestors, right? So I'm getting some very protective energies from this card as well. Like they are protecting the four corners of your home. Don't know if some of you work with ancestors spiritually, but they're definitely around, and it feels like your home is a sanctuary, a safe place. So the next card was from my personal crystal oracle, and the crystal that you chose was turquoise. So this message brings through the crystal oracle message of hold the vision. So I got this card recently myself, and you've got great ideas and can see the potential in things where perhaps other people cannot. So having vision is actually a rare skill. A lot of people just don't have vision, and that actually is really not a helpful thing in your life. So the fact that you have that quality and ability in you is a really good sign that you can absolutely change things for yourself. You might be a creative person, or you're just very mentally active. This is a very airy stone for me. If you look at it, it kind of looks like the blue sky, and it is a combination of air and earth in depending on what element system you use. So that's grounding those ideas. Your ancestors want you to not let other people who don't have or share your vision or believe in your ideas or goals that you have, to not let them stop you. So focusing on your long-term goals is really good for you and will guide you towards getting to where you want to be. Just as long as you don't allow people that don't have that vision that you've got, and don't have the same ideas and potential, they don't see the potential in things that you do, to stop you. So if you have found this reading to be helpful so far, could you please give it a like, share it with anyone you think that could benefit from it as well, and I really would appreciate that. Thank you. Next we've got the warrior, and well, there you go. So we've got ancestral guides that want you to be fearless and to stand strong. So this is exactly the energy you need to break free of any blocks, overcome fears, or if you're someone who's considering going in a new direction and you're not sure if you're prepared or ready, or you want to leave a situation that is not working for you behind. This is exactly what you need to tap into that. This includes work, relationships, anything that you feel you've outgrown. Definitely getting the impression that you need to move into a new area. So you want to tap into that warrior spirit. And some of you may have had an ancestor in the ancient past who was some type of warrior, and they're coming through here. So stop caring so much about what other people think. Don't back down if you want to do something, and you don't let your mind or lower self talk you out of something that you want to do. So a message from your ancestors here is we want you to go for it. So there, you can't make this stuff up. I shuffled all these decks separately. It's completely random. There's a very cohesive message in this reading. You might want to take a leap of faith. And what is it that you want to really do but have never actually tried it? This is your sign to go ahead with something. And the next card is, no surprise perhaps, courage. And this is a really funny lion statue that's on this tomb. Maybe some sort of medieval lion there. And actually, you had lions also appeared in the card which showed the ancient Egyptian scene. There was, if you looked, there is two lions here on the sort of bed that this man is sitting on, or pharaoh. You might not be a Leo yourself or have strong Leo placements in your birth chart, but you definitely need to tap into that Leo energy. I think that's something that's being encouraged. So the guidebook actually says that lions were used on tombs to represent the trait of pride, courage, and strength in a family lineage. So you have that within you, even if you feel like I'm not that brave, I'm not that courageous. You have that potential there that you can tap into that's still within you, regardless of whether you feel that is an active trait or not. You have that within you. So you need to be more confident in yourself. You need to be more confident in your capabilities to handle things. And there is this recurring message for you in all these different decks today. You can find more information about all the decks that I've used today in the links in the description, and I hope this reading has given you the guidance that you needed to hear. So let me know in the comments which card you picked or if any part of this reading resonated with you. And I do also have other pick a card readings on my channel, including Akashic Records reading, money and career reading, as well as my monthly and yearly readings if you haven't seen those yet. So make sure you subscribe and select bell notifications so that you never miss a reading from me. Welcome to your reading if you picked card 2, and let's see what messages and guidance are here for you from your ancestors. So first I've pulled 3 cards from the Ancestral Tarot, and you've got Queen of Staves, and this is the equivalent of the Queen of Wands, certainly an image of confidence. And actually, if you look, she has a carnelian, which is an empowerment stone, as a solar disc on her crown. So this card is actually connected to the goddess Isis, and she was skilled in magic and the healing arts. So this, I believe your ancestors are telling us that they want you to know how powerful you are and to believe in your spiritual abilities. So the more confident you are in yourself, the easier it is to attract what you want in your life. And people will even respond to you differently if you're more self-confident, and you'll actually become more magnetic. You actually carry that within your aura, that you can really light up, and people will notice you more as long as you're in your higher vibration and your self-belief. If you carry that energy behind you mentally, it will show outside and people will be drawn to you. Everything will be a lot easier for you if you tap into that magic. So don't be afraid of being visible. I think for some of you that might be a problem or something you battled with, and try to shine your light. Okay, so your next card is the 3 of Cups. This card could be showing you that they are aware of your relationships and they're watching over either your relationships or your family. That could be partners, it could also be parents. So in this reading, I am focusing more on people's ancient ancestry and their ancient ancestors. But I do feel if there is anyone who's watching this who has lost a family member that was from this lifetime, such as your parents, your grandparents, potentially this is them letting you know that they are around, they're very aware of what's going on in your life, and they do watch over you. Feel particularly they're showing up at important events. So if you look here, we've got this couple that are together, and this is almost like, I believe this might be King Arthur, and he's kind of given them their blessing. So I feel that for those of you that are married, anyone that has gone through any type of celebration recently, such it could be a birth, graduations, big life-changing events, even a new job, move to a big city, anything that's this kind of milestone in your life, they tend to come in around that time. Definitely feel that is something that you have. Definitely have close watching ancestors, and they definitely wish the best for you and your life. And next you've got the 5 of Sacred Circles. So this is a very different take on the Rider-Waite-Smith image that most people are more familiar with. And the way I see this one, if you look closely, these 2 figures are visiting this tent here, and the other tents are in the distance separate from this tent. I feel like the figures in this card are checking in on how the person is doing who is away from the group. So you might feel like you're a bit of an outsider. Maybe you don't feel as close to your family as you used to be. So maybe you live away from your family, or perhaps you've lost touch over the years with your friends. A few of you might be estranged from a family member, such as a parent. Your ancestors are making you aware that they are around you and that distance doesn't really matter. And in terms of your ancestral family, you are not separate on the spiritual plane. So you might want to, on a physical level, you might want to reach out to family members or any old friends you've lost touch with. And that's those that you want to speak to. You might want to check in on someone and see how they're doing. Sometimes we kind of get on with our lives and we kind of forget that some people might be struggling and you might be able to help them. So I do want you to consider reaching out to some people, just see how they are, check in on them. Again, it could be family or friends, and reconnect. If it's something you've been thinking about, this is a sign that you might want to reconnect with family or friends that you've lost touch with and start kind of building bridges again if that's something you feel ready to do. Sometimes we need to make the first move. So this is a message that you got from my crystal oracle, and the message is, and the crystal is black tourmaline, and the message is maintain your boundaries. If there's anyone around you at the moment who is overstepping your boundaries, then your ancestors do encourage you not to allow this. This could be an emotional boundary, or it could be a personal boundary. Watch out if anyone is trying to guilt trip you or manipulate you into doing something you don't want to do. And this is quite a common thing that I see people do. So just watch out for that. Just be very aware and don't fall for it. People can be really sneaky sometimes. Also, if you are a sensitive person, you might need to use some form of psychic protection, as well as black tourmaline. There are other crystals that you can use to protect yourself if you're not using a shielding technique already. So check out the videos I do have on my channel about psychic protection with crystals, as I've got quite a few of those that could be helpful for you if you're not used to the world of psychic protection. So if you have found this reading to be helpful so far, could you please give it a like and share it with anyone that you could think of that will benefit from as well. And I really appreciate your support. Thank you. And your next card is She-Wolf. And this is telling me that you shouldn't be afraid to stand out from the crowd, as a lot of people are kind of trapped in their own ways of thinking, and they also love to stop other people. So don't conform. It's a limiting control system, and I think you on some level are already quite aware of this. Being who you are is taking you closer to your spirit and to your essence. So anything else will tend to dull your energy and stop you living your purpose. So if anyone around you is making you feel that you can't be yourself or believe what you do, then don't fall for this. Be you. And this card also shows us the full moon in the background, so I feel that is a significant time. If you're not already someone who works with moon energies and the phases of the moon, you might want to pay more attention to that. I've just seen those paw marks over the moon. Yeah, so wolf symbolism. So yeah, full moons are significant. They're definitely power times that you can tap into, especially with that kind of energy that you hold, possibly from past lives, that will enable you to tap into that almost priest or priestess energies. And this is a message. We will help you heal the situation. So this is a message from your ancestors. And if there's a problem, if there's any kind of drama or communication breakdown, or there's even a roadblock in your life that is causing you a lot of stress, they are aware of this and they are helping you from the spiritual planes as much as they can from behind the scenes. So I would also suggest you might also want to ask them for help as you're going through anything like that, or as anything comes up. They are letting us know that they can help you with life situations and be supportive of you. Next card is Promise. So there's two meanings that come to mind when I look at this card. So the first is that death separates us from our loved ones, but the spiritual bond continues to exist. So if you look in the background of this tombstone, we see a wreath, which is a symbol of an ancient symbol of endless cycle of life and death. And It's a reminder that, one day we'll all be together with our family members that have passed on and loved ones. So death doesn't really separate us. Feel that these hands as well can be a sign that your ancestors are very connected with you. Alternatively, this could be about an important agreement or deal or a contract. If that's something you're aware of that's going on at the moment, or if you see anything come up that seems like a good opportunity, what you are not rejecting any good opportunities that come to you. They maybe are trying to point you in that direction of don't say no to something too quickly. Really look into it and see if it's right for you before you decide what to do. You can find out more about all the decks I've used today in the links below the description, and I hope this reading has given you the guidance that you need. So let me know in the comments which card you picked or which parts of this reading most resonated with you. I do have other pick a card readings on my channel, including an Akashic Records reading, money and career. I also do a yearly and a monthly reading if you want to check those out. So make sure you subscribe and select bell notifications so that you never miss a reading from me. Welcome to your reading if you picked card 3, and let's see what messages and guidance are here for you today from your ancestors. So first I've pulled 3 cards from the Ancestral Tarot, and your first card is King of Cups, and this card shows King Arthur. And this can mean that you are someone who has emotions that run deep, but not always everyone realizes this about you. So you are definitely a good listener, and I believe you give people very good advice, and you understand people on a deeper level, and this is a great skill to have. So your ancestors want you to know that when you channel your emotions into things like creative projects, work, magic really happens. So success comes to you when you're doing what you love and enjoy. So follow your creative passions. Listen to your heart and your intuition when you're making important life decisions, or when you're dealing with people that are perhaps coming to you for advice. That is a skill that you probably inherited as well from your ancestral line. And the next card is the 9 of Staves, which is the equivalent of the 9 of Wands. And what they are telling me from this card is that you have been working very hard on something, or you are working towards something now. So something that you want or something that you want to achieve, but there are some challenges that you have experienced or that perhaps you're experiencing now. There's a kind of tired energy or I'm over it energy to this card and image. So you may have had setbacks or resistance to what you're trying to do. Some of you might even feel just overwhelmed by something you're trying to achieve, or perhaps somewhere you're trying to get to in your life. It seems overwhelming, all the stuff that you know that you have to do to get there. So you might be closer than you think. So if it is something that you are actively working on and have been working on for a while, I believe that you are probably not that far as far back as you think. So don't let any challenges, past knocks you've experienced stop you. Because sometimes people read difficulties or challenges as I'm not meant to do this, because people have this belief that's not true, that if things don't come easy to us, they're not meant for us. I actually think more often than not, that's the opposite. We have to go through these challenges to build the skills we need to get to what we want. So you have to have a certain level of skill and experience to achieve what you want. So that's why you're going to go through those hurdles. If anything, difficulties reaching where you want are a sign that you're on the right path. It's okay to take a break though. So if you find your work-life balance is off, I'm not encouraging overwork or working every hour that you're spent or working through the night to achieve your goal or a dream or something that you're trying to do. It's definitely okay to step back a bit and just things will take a bit longer to get where you want, but don't give up. And I really do feel that your ancestors want you to know that you are actually closer to the harvest than you think. Okay, so the next one we have is the 3 of Swords, and your ancestors are aware of the emotional pain that you carry from things that have happened in your past. And this could have been the end of a relationship, a bad relationship that you went through, or some type of split or separation. that you might have had with a family member or your family, something that even happened in your childhood that you still remember was a bit painful. Whatever it is, try not to let it take over your life. Swords are about our mental state, so your past experiences can weigh very heavily on you, but it is ultimately something that is stored in the mind. It's the creation of the mind, and they don't want you to be sad or stuck in your past. They don't want you to relive your past either. So they want you to move on and not let past events make you distrust people. That if it was a relationship or family thing, it could have created this kind of wound where you now distrust people. So if that is something, if you recognize that trait in yourself, you've got to work on that. So you might need to forgive others if you can find it in yourself, as ultimately if you work through forgiving people, which is not condoning their actions, just releasing them so they don't have control over you. This will actually free you up for a lot of life areas that you might have been experiencing challenges in, because you have to overcome this to reach the next stage. So that's the work that they want you to do, assuming that you haven't already recently done it. So this next message comes to you from my crystal oracle, and the crystal that you picked was the record keeper crystal. And here I have a sapphire record keeper, but any record keeper crystal could be used, including quartz. And the message that this crystal brings you from your ancestors is, remember your mission. And this is about your life purpose, or a task or project or some kind of thing that you're meant to bring to this world. And you came here to this planet with gifts and spiritual abilities and talents that you've got. Some of them are ancestral and some of them are soul gifts. And these are things that your soul agreed to before you chose to incarnate. So things that you said you were going to do or contribute, how you were meant to help. And figuring out what these are isn't always easy, but you might have already, some of you I do feel do know what you're meant to do, or you have a good idea of what you're meant to do. Follow your natural interests and passions. That's usually a guide. Follow what interests come up throughout your life, and they'll generally lead you towards your missions and your soul tasks that you're meant to do and contribute. So listen to divine inspiration that comes to you, and you do need to tap into a certain level of courage to do those things. It's not always in alignment with our career. It doesn't have to be your career to be your life purpose. Missions are things that we go through for a phase. There are things we do and we complete them, and then you'll maybe get another mission. But there could be something you've perhaps been distracted from. Feel that some of you haven't been doing something that you'd like to do and you want to do. And this is a little reminder, a nudge from your guides, that you need to get back to that thing, or you need to do the thing you've been procrastinating. It's probably something that you have started and maybe stopped, and you'll feel the call. You'll know what it is. If you're watching this, you know what to do. So if you have found this reading to be helpful so far, could you please give it a like and share it with anyone that you think could benefit from it too? I really appreciate the support. Thank you. Okay, so next we've got Arrow, and your ancestors are surrounding you with a protective energy now, and they want you to know you can call on them whenever you feel you need it. So there may be a warrior ancestor in your past, or someone that worked with protective energy in some way. Could be shamanic. This might just be that you are a sign that you might be around bad vibes. These could be from people that you know, could be your home environment where you live, or your work. You might have people around you that are draining, or you find you don't feel good after you've spoken to them. This could also be family members. Sometimes family members can do this as well. These energies tend to lower your vibration and they're bogging you down. So stop. This can also stop you reaching your full potential. If you're taking on too much energy from people, or I should say that they're offloading energy onto you, some people or energies just aren't in alignment with your goals, your intentions and purpose. And that's all this is. It's just understanding. It's a simple truth. So try and increase your awareness of this. This is going to really help accelerate things. So if you can, place some distance between you and these people that might make you feel this way, and just be on your guard around those people. And if you know about energetic clearing and protection, it's something you should definitely tap into, as well as calling on the protective ancestors as well. And this is a message. We know you miss us. So this sounds like it could be someone from your family who has passed over in this lifetime. So it would be someone that you liked or had a good relationship with. So someone you missed, again, it could be parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, or it could be someone else, but it's definitely from your family line. And for those of you that if you have not experienced such a thing, then it's your ancient ancestors letting you know that they work as guides before you incarnated here, and so that they know you on a soul level. And this card is abundance. So this is a very good ending of your reading. This is the cornucopia symbol, the horn of blessings and abundance. So they told you that you need to keep going, and the work that you put in and have put in will pay off eventually. So remember that this isn't always about money. Abundance isn't necessarily money. It can also be a good life, happiness, living in a nice area that you enjoy, having access or living near perhaps the countryside, your dream place to live. This doesn't always come to us through finances. It could come to you through family, it could come through partners as well. So good things will manifest in your life as long as you fulfill your calling and do what you're meant to do. I believe if you put the time into anything you know does require that work and time to build your dreams, it will eventually pay off. The money will come, the abundance, the feelings of just being content and happy in your life and where you are will happen. So you can find out more about all the decks I've used today in the links in the description, and I hope this reading has given you the guidance that you need to hear. So let me know in the comments which card you picked or which part of this reading most resonated with you. And I do have other pick a card readings on my channel, such as an Akashic Records money and career reading. I also do an annual reading, and I do a reading every month. So check those out if you have not seen them yet. So make sure you subscribe and select bell notifications so that you never miss a reading from me.